Welcome to Belly Dance Biz Builders. I'm Orit, dancer, instructor, and proud owner of a thriving belly dance business. In this podcast, I'm giving it to you straight, revealing what it takes to kickstart and grow your dance business for the income you deserve. If you're a seasoned instructor, a passionate performer, or dreaming of turning your love for belly dance into a thriving business, you're in the right place. Tighten up those hip scarves and join me on a ride of truth smacks, tips, and inspiration. Let's do this. All right, we've got Tyra. Woohoo! How are you doing, Tyra?
I'm awesome. How are you, Ori?
I'm doing well. I'm doing better now that you're here. And
thank you.
So, Tyra, you are the first person ever that I'm interviewing on the Belly Dance Biz Builders podcast.
Wow. Thank you. I'm so honored.
Absolutely. Thank you. And so let's do a little rewind. Okay. So first of all, tell me, where are you originally from? And tell me how you got into dance in the first place.
Yes, I am originally from Mississippi and I got into dance. I'm a natural dancer. It's a part of my culture. And never had any official training as a girl, but definitely wanted to grow up and be a dancer. And I started getting dance training when I was in my late 20s. It was African dance, and I now live in Tennessee. This is my home. I've been here for about 30 years. And I wanted to learn how to do African dance. And there was a class in Nashville. And the first day I took the class, I was just like, I'm head over heels in love. And so right around 2010, I found what is called the Global Education Center. They needed an African dance instructor. And that's where I began to learn about West African dance as well as dances in the diaspora.
So how many types of African dance is there?
It's an infinite number, probably.
And how many do you know?
I know probably close to 10 different styles. Yeah.
Right. And of course, belly dancing being one of them because it's North African.
Exactly. Right? It's so funny in my classes. I told everybody, my teacher told me, excuse me, Tyra, belly dance is African dance. This is your new form of African dance. So that's what I tell everybody in my classes.
Yeah. Yeah. So when did you start teaching?
I was teaching African dance at the YMCA, and I kind of felt like I'm not going to make it as an African dance instructor because I was so new to teaching. And I started switching over to dance fitness at that time, water aerobics and dance fitness. And so from there, I just began to realize I'm a natural teacher. And so when I started working at the Y and started shifting myself, it was just like, wow, me and fitness, we get along. I was new at the time, so I had to begin to realize how does this even work? And it's interesting, even in my 20s, I wanted to be a fitness instructor, but I wasn't quite sure, how do these people become a fitness instructor? So at the Y at the time, there was a natural progression. There were these classes you could take, even though they reversed it for me. They hired me first, and then I started taking these classes. Well, then I just started taking classes that would help me because they had them built into the system at the time. I started taking classes that would help me to understand, how do I teach all the different levels? Because that was something that I picked up at the Y. How do you teach all of the different levels? Learning how to manage the class, learning how to prepare to teach the class. I didn't know how to cue, and that was something actually that came down the road. But I definitely began to realize there has to be some type of structure, there has to be some type of system, and that teaching takes skill. And if you don't have it, the fitness people will tell you. But it really did help me so much to train myself up to have all the skills to be able to have a very sound fitness class that keeps people safe and that they love it.
You know what I found interesting is that when you went into fitness because you couldn't find a system of learning how to teach in the dance world. So already there's a lack right there.
Yes, it's true.
It's very interesting. There's no curriculum. I mean, I've seen some now surface, but how interesting. There was not a curriculum on how to teach just dance.
This was 2007. Nope, there was not.
Wow. And that's fairly recent. I mean, it's not too long ago, I don't think.
No.
I mean, because I've been in fitness since the 80s too. So, wow. Isn't that crazy? Now, here you are. You were a dancer who now went into fitness. And I'm sure now if you taught dance, I'm sure what you learned in fitness would really be so beneficial if you taught a dance class. So dancers out there, consider this. Consider seeking out a fitness certification or even just taking fitness classes just to enhance your own teaching skills.
I couldn't agree more, Orit. So what ended up happening is I got certified in a dance fitness format, another one. I got certified in Zumba because it was the craze at the time. And initially I thought everyone certified in Zumba. Well, actually it's a license. It's not a certification. Everyone's learning how to teach this fitness format. I'm not going to do it. But then I began to take people's classes. I was like, oh, I could do this and make some good money because I can really dance and I'm a very good teacher. And that's when I began to realize, you know what? Something about dance fitness will make me better at teaching dance. So I got that first. And then that's when I started working at the Global Education Center. And I'll call it my nonprofit. That's when I started working at my nonprofit. And I began to realize that if I took the skills that I learned in that format, brought it over to African dance, then it would set me apart. And it actually did. I ended up being one of the most popular African dance instructors in Nashville, Tennessee. And the people who criticized me the most were the ones who were only dancers, only teaching the same style of dance that I was teaching, because there's something about, in my mind, because I feel like I'm a fitness instructor first, more than a dance teacher. There's something about dance teachers that I feel like if it's too simple, then it's not good. And I'm like, but if I'm teaching a community dance class, simple is the way to go. And if you want to know why I have a lot of people who come to my African dance class, it is because when they come, they can actually do everything that I teach them because I'm giving it to them in bite-sized pieces. I know how to cue. I know how to break steps down so that they can actually see it and get an idea of what to do. The only drawback of that other fitness format that I had, I never could actually use words. But I will say, teaching my dance class using fitness, skills, it makes my life easy, and my classes have always been huge. Always.
Amazing. Amazing. So those of you who are listening who are dancers and dance teachers, this is the complaint I hear about belly dancers, belly dance teachers, is that they show the complete move first. And then it's going to get everybody all crazy, like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do that. Instead of really breaking it down, like you said, to bite-sized pieces. Right. That's brilliant, Tyra. I love your journey from dance to fitness and then bringing all those principles into your dance. Amazing.
Thank you.
But now I'd love to talk about Zumba. Mm-hmm. As we all know, that is based on the song-specific method, right?
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong. There's about like 5 to 8 songs in each class.
Orit, I was thinking about it the other day. I think it's at least 10. That's a lot of songs.
It's a lot of songs, right? Exactly. Yeah. And can you tell me about the teaching, or how are you teaching to these songs?
So I was actually very strict in the way that I taught. I stuck to the format. And so the songs have, say, the verse, the chorus, and it's kind of like you kind of see them as blocks. You knew on this part of the song, you're going to do whatever the move is. And so you have to know the song in order to know what comes next. And so for people who come over and over and over, they start learning. Number one, they know that when whatever that part of the song changes, if it changes from the verse to the chorus, they may not know the steps that are coming, but they know because they can feel it in the music. But people who don't know music well, don't know Zumba, when they would come, we would always have to say, "Oh, you need to come about 5 or 6 times. Then you'll understand. You'll get it. You just have to stick with it, and you'll eventually get it." Reed, I have a funny for you. The ones who kind of got criticized were the fitness instructors who knew how to cue verbally, because we were encouraged to not cue verbally. Isn't that crazy? Now that I'm out, I'm like,
and what is
why?
the reasoning? What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, initially, I think it was sort of like Zumba's a party, and you just kind of make it sort of like it has a certain energy when the instructor isn't just spending all this time cueing, and the students have to really learn to watch that teacher. There's no listening. It's like you have to really watch. Zumba wore me out. I'm not gonna lie. I got to a point where I was just like, this is too much, and I'm done.
So that's interesting. So because it's based on the song specific format, for the participant, they were at a disadvantage if they came in, let's say, the third week, right? Instead of coming the first week, you started a new playlist, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So they kind of had to work and memorize. But now, so talk about the disadvantage to teachers. You said you were worn out. Is it because why?
I was worn out because I had to stay on this grind of having a fresh playlist and learning all of these different dance styles. That began to kind of irk me. And it just felt like I'm tired. I'm tired of having to know all of this choreography. And I'm going to tell you one other thing, going back to the disadvantage piece. I'll never forget. I said I wanted to share this story with your audience. I was teaching actually at State Farm for the employees, and a lady came in and she said, "I sure hope it's not one of those classes where the choreography just keeps changing during the whole class." And I thought, oh crap, she's going to ask for her money back, because that's exactly what's going to happen. I used to feel so terrible for people who don't know how to dance well and don't know music. They don't have any musicality. There was no opportunity to really be able to hold them so that it's like, no, I can show you, like how to move your body like this. It was just not going to happen. And they would leave feeling so defeated. And to me, that's a big deal. And also, again, it's just like with people teaching a dance class and they're not breaking the moves down, they're not going to come back. You're going to start losing clients. Right. So, yeah.
That's great. So just to recap, so for the participants, they could fall behind and it's just too much for them, especially if they're not a dancer. Mm-hmm. And for the instructor, it's all that memorization, mm-hmm. right? All that prep time you have to do before for how much money you're going to get each class. What is it?
Exactly.
Is it worth the money? All that.
Exactly. Not only did we have to have that fresh choreography, I have to learn all these different dance styles too.
And then on top of that, you pay a monthly fee, right? To get these choreographies and music as well.
Yes. I recently looked at, because Zumba, is trying to woo me back, $46 a month.
Okay.
And I don't know how much other people make, but I know a lot of, when I last taught in 2020 at the community center, they were paying $21.
So now let's talk about belly dance. You discovered belly dance. How, when, where?
So I actually found another, it's a belly dance bar. Yeah, belly dance bar workout. Actually, Soraya with Rock the Bar, she told me, well, I found her in an online summit, and then she told me about you. And I said, well, I'm going into my 50s and I need to do something new. I had decided to give up teaching dance and fitness. I never thought I would teach again. And I came into the SharQui studio and I thought, this is amazing. I don't really feel like I know what I am doing, but you all teach so well. Every instructor was just so good. Each one of you kind of have like your own way of, I don't know, it's like your own energy. You're all teaching the same thing, but you have your own style. And I was like, okay, I get a little bit of something from each one to kind of catch on to what is this hip drop and like, what am I using? What am I doing? And I just loved how y'all would explain it. And the thing that made me so fascinated, I was like, I became a belly dancer in one day because I can pick up choreography. I may not be initially doing belly dance moves perfectly, but I was like, wow, I'm just like completely going through this belly dance choreography. So honestly, I really got birthed within the SharQui virtual studio.
First of all, shout out to Rock the Bar. The founder is Soraya Darty. That's an amazing program if you ever want to fuse belly dance with bar program. But yeah, like you just said, you don't know if you were doing it right, but you were able to follow. Mm-hmm. And holy cow, you were dancing right from the start.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You after 30 minutes, you had a choreography. So it wasn't that traditional do 15 minutes of technique and then do all these other drills, 10 hip lifts on one side and maybe 25 on the other, right? So yeah, awesome.
What I love about SharQui is how you're able to get us to move our muscles, but we're just continuously moving. There was never any downtime. But by the same token, it's like we do take time because there's this way of building it up. It's like we're going to start simple and then build it up. And then you all would say, hey, make sure you're moving this part of the body using this muscle. And then we would just keep practicing it over and over. So it's almost like the drill is built in to the actual class. And so, I was like, oh, this is nice. And it's funny when people take my SharQui classes, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating. I'm out of shape. I remember coming in, I was like, it's like yoga. You think, oh, I got this. And it's like, no, let me get myself together. This is a workout. So I love that part of it. I'm not going to lie. I was really impressed with the instructors. SharQui instructors are some of the most well-trained instructors. And I am a fitness junkie. I'm on the level of being a fitness snob. I don't treat anybody badly, but I am a fitness snob. And I thought, wow. And, during the pandemic, there were, people maybe who got certified and came into the studio, but I was like, wow, they really do get better because I want to just go back. Some of these trainings you go to, even my first bar training, I think that training was in one day. And it's like, how do you get better at this? Zumba, one day, right? And then it's like you have to have your own motivation to, keep getting trained up. But I just thought, wow, the SharQui instructors, it's just like the improvement for the new ones. It's just phenomenal and amazing. I actually kind of like, this is something that was new for me, is the music in SharQui. Because there wasn't the music, like I'm not dancing to a song. The music just plays continuously. It goes from one song to the next. And there is this energy about I want to get lost. That's something that people kind of like about all the other dance fitness styles. You just kind of feel like you're getting lost in the music. And that actually begins to happen too, because we're doing the choreography over and over, But after a while, I don't know, for me as a dancer, it's like, oh, it feels so good. I'm listening to the music. And actually, I began to realize, oh, wait a minute, when the music does something, I know we're going to go to another block or something like that. So, yeah, I love the teaching, the blocks, everything. It's just amazing.
So it seems like another difference between SharQui and Zumba is the music, the fact that it's nonstop. You don't have separate songs. You were talking about certifications, getting certified in one day.
SharQui Belly Dance Workout Academy, Instructor Academy is it is probably the best certification that I've gone through. And it's because it lasts a little bit longer and you get exposed to the system. A lot of people who go through some of these other certifications, maybe they have gone through like I did. I was a part of the studio before, but no matter what, if you've never taught fitness, there's still this introduction into the instructor side of the fitness world that I love how you introduce people to. Okay, you need to go feel it in your body. You need to go and, watch the instructors teach. Maybe some people just walk into some of these. They've never seen anyone teach these. Like the first bar instructor, the first bar certification I saw one person teach one time. That was it. And I was like, oh, I love this. I'm going to go, So I love that that's built into the learning in SharQui. And I'm not going to lie, I love that we are trained by you, the actual founder and creator of the company, of the format. And you just know it so well. And so you could see what was going on with us in those coaching sessions. There was the hands-on is what I'm trying to say. I love the hands-on part of the academy. And I personally love going to the coaching sessions because it would help me to build my confidence very, very quickly because we would practice in front of each other. And that's something that adults are not really used to. We haven't been in school for so long and we want to just be perfect, on the first day. And that's not how it is with fitness. When you're teaching a fitness, or that's not how it is with dance. When you're learning to teach, there is a learning curve. And so I love that we would, practice in front of each other and cheer each other on. And you have a very good eye over Zoom. You can see anything and everything that we're doing. So you were always able to help give us feedback that would, you would tell me, this is what I want you to work on. And I would say, got it. And I'd come back. So it really felt like a certification versus the other ones that I went through. And I was thinking, I really and truly have to find some help on how to teach this. It was a lot of, I had to do a lot more to get myself to that point. Whereas coming right out, you can teach right away. They say that with other formats. I'm sorry. It's not true.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that. So it's people need to practice and they have to be accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to set time to practice. And I think that's what you got with the 4 months. That was your time to practice.
Yes.
It's not like you get certified in a day or two. Okay, bye, good luck. No, there's your practice time. Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful.
Practice time where you have someone who knows what they're doing that can give you feedback.
I've got 3 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
First one. Is there anything you want to say to the dancer and or instructor who is still teaching on the song-specific method?
Yes. Save yourself and come and learn a system of teaching that will just make life easier for your students and make life easier for you.
Second question. How about for the instructor who has never, ever taught yet, but they think they want to try?
This is a beautiful format to learn how to teach because you will be supported every step of the way during the process as well as afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing. And the third one. Now, what about the person who's on the fence?
The person who is on the fence, I was on the fence, Ori, if we really think about it. And I decided to get off the fence and get into the SharQui Instructor studio. And since going back to teach, let's talk about me going back to teach. I know this is rapid fire, but I have not mentioned this. Going back to teach, I have so many people coming to my class, repeat students. I don't even teach every week, and they still are like, girl, when are you teaching? I want to come. So if you're on the fence, I just recommend that you go on ahead and jump on off and come on into into the studio, because not only can you use this for teaching SharQui, but I'm back to teaching my African dance class too. And I'm using this entire method to teach my African dance class. And that class is huge. I have people knocking at the door to get in. I'm more successful now and more confident in myself than I was before. Get on off the fence.
Amazing, Tyra. I'm so glad that you said that you're implementing the SharQui principles in a different genre of dance. So, guys, you don't necessarily have to teach SharQui. You can implement these principles in your traditional belly dance classes. So, SharQui is not a workout. SharQui is simply a teaching style, a way to teach. But you make it you. You don't have to have music that's 126 to 130 BPM. You can have traditional music that has fluctuating rhythms and speed and pitches. That's fine. It's all about flow. It's all about packing that class in with as much value that you can, right? It's about minimize the talking, right? How can you be succinct, right? In your cues, in your corrections, right? And honestly, I do have to say this. I think what ties the flow in is the music. It's all about the music because it forces you to cue. It forces you to not stop. Yeah. It forces your heart rate to sort of kind of be at a nice level. It's that non-stop music. Again, it doesn't have to be fast. So thank you for saying that. I really, really, really appreciate it. So Tyra, you have been doing such an amazing job. You are a SharQui success story.
Oh,
really.
thank you.
I am so proud of you.
Aw.
Marissa, who's the director of professional development, is so proud of you. We are all so proud of you. Do you know that your fellow SharQui sisters, we are like in awe.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
wow. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You know, I can say I consider myself to be a fitness instructor. I am so good at fitness instructing. And so coming into something like SharQui and continuing to develop myself the way that I have been, because I love the aftercare, so to speak, the professional development afterwards with the crew. And I've just been able to get so strong so fast. It kind of actually has blown my mind. But you have so many opportunities for growth. Like I've never experienced to be able to get feedback. That's what I love the most. I'm a part of the crew, which is what we can join after we go through the certification. And I love that I can get feedback about how I'm doing instead of just practicing in front of my, computer, watching a video. I get to come into crew. You can give me feedback, the instructor challenges. I don't think I would be able to have the level of confidence that I have if I didn't have the support of you all. So thank you so much. I'm so happy.
Oh, you are so welcome. And another thing that I want to add is that, it's so interesting. I was teaching at a fitness conference and I was talking to a few people who had their own formats that they created. It was a one thing that I think the piece that is missing that they are not offering their certified instructors is business.
Good point.
Yeah. And we teach that or we offer information. Yeah. Yeah, because my thing is that, look, guys, you can be a kick-ass instructor. If you don't know how to get people through the door, screw that. You're like the world's best kept secret. No one's going to buy from you if they don't know you.
Ori, you raise an excellent point, because I remember during the academy, you were saying you would ask like, hey, what are some of your business questions? And I love that I got to talk about, well, I'm not quite sure, how do I reintroduce myself? And I love that you all help us to have the graphics and understand, you share a lot of times, this is what someone else posted. This is the video that the other person posted recently. And I'm going to actually do this. You taught someone how to run her own challenge, and that it was so successful. I was like, oh, I'm doing this. So I will say that that is something that is very unique. I've never gotten it in another training before for fitness. How do you have a business? And that is in part why I am successful also, is because you have helped me to focus on that part of it. Because I have my own classes where I'm charging people. I'm not working for a flat fee. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I would love for you to tell the audience your story about when a belly dancer came to your class.
Oh, yes. So one of my fears is belly dancers coming to my class and criticizing what I'm doing. That was that was one of the things I expressed while I was in the academy. And actually, just yesterday, a lady came to my class. She used to take my African dance class. I have not seen her in at least 5 years. And so she came late, and I didn't get a chance to say, okay, let me explain to you what I'm doing. This is called SharQui Belly Dance workout. This is not a belly dance class. But I just kind of yelled it to her to try to help her to understand this is what we're doing. And she just kind of hopped in because she came in late and started moving. Well, after class, she said to me, that movement that you did where you hopped in with the shoulder shimmy and then you went into the hip shimmy, where you were supposed to undulate back into the hop into the shoulder shimmy. And I thought, no, 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 no. I told her that is not correct. That might be something that she knows. If that's what she wants to do, she can do it. But this is SharQui Belly Dance workout. No one knows what she's talking about. I have to keep things super simple. But it honestly is because I was able to talk to you about those kinds of things. I had stuff like that happen to me in Zumba all the time because we're teaching other dance styles that we actually don't know anything about. And we would have people come until we learned how to do them better and criticize everything that we did. Like, oh, you don't know what you're doing with this dance style or that one. But in SharQui, you do such a good job of helping us to understand how to move. And I had already talked to you about it while I was in the studio, in the academy. And so I was ready for her. I did not want that to happen. But when it happened, I thought, I know who I am because I have been trained well in this particular format. And I know exactly what I'm doing.
And that's really interesting. You were supposed to do
That's
this.
what she told me.
And really, in fact, what she was just telling you was it was just layering. She was just making it fancy. I feel like in belly dance, I mean, unless you're doing folkloric, right?
Okay.
I feel like there's not much supposed to do, right? There's just your way, right? And how to get into something is your way. Could there be more effective ways? Could there be safer ways? Sure. I know. Take it from me. I'm someone of origin. I grew up from a belly dance. I'm not a snob about it. There are many ways to do things, and I don't like that. I don't like it when people say that. I'm just saying it. Just
thank you.
They come in and nah, it's not right. Not right.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to leave the audience with this. Here's my question.
Okay.
Tyra, what would you tell your younger instructor self now?
I would tell her that you're going to make it. Just continue to study and work on your teaching skills. And more than anything, love what you do. Love what you do. When you love what you do, other people will just join in with you and have fun at doing it. And so don't sweat all the stress, all the stressors from the other instructors. all the stressors from students who maybe, have their opinions about how things need to be done. Be true to yourself, love what you do, and definitely by all means continue to study to become the best instructor that you can be. And it's an evolutionary process. So just keep studying.
And with that, I'll say an amen.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tyra, for spending time with me, with us. And
thank you.
Really, I don't take it lightly. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here. I love talking about SharQui, dance, working out. I appreciate you, Orit.
Would you like to take us out on the outro?
Until our next episode, go and kick ass.